Primal dreams. Eliminate obstacle. Everything seems fine today. Let's go out. What's up? Oh, don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. What's up? Oh, don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. I feel my horizons expand every time I visit a new place. feel my horizons expand every time I visit a new place. You'll regret this! I feel my horizons expand every time I visit a new place. Huh? What's up? Oh, don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. Is there something you need? File 049. It's complicated, but I seem to remember some of it as well.
You know something about it?
Yes, I remember the mission fairly well. The file was recovered and the thief was captured.
So, the records in File 049, are they really about the Federation's second attempt at time retracement?
Time retracement? I'm not sure, since I've never looked at the file's contents. However,
What is it?
it should be related to Omnium research in some way. When I was a Federation agent, I came across all kinds of secrets, including some about Hykros.
Is something wrong?
I feel my horizons expand every time I visit a new place. You find it useful?
Come on, Rosalind, don't be like this. I won't make you call me Siga anymore, so will you please talk to me? Once we make it out of here safely, I promise I'll do everything I can to help you uncover every secret between Wells and Aurora Industries. It's what I do best. After that, you can throw me in jail or investigate me all you want. I'll answer any question and do whatever you ask. People I should have never forgotten.
Okay.
Professor Helena Bashad asked me to deliver a message to you. The experimental records contained in file 049 went far beyond anyone's expectations. She wants to understand everything as much as possible, but for security reasons she can't tell anyone about it, especially not the Federation. Because of that, she's asking you to wait just a little longer.
That doesn't sound like a request she would make. People I should have never forgotten.
Oh, and she says you still owe her a birthday gift from before.
Birthday gift? I see. I'll agree to your request, but on certain conditions.
What is it?
Since only half of the files are genuine, I'll let you hold on to them for the time being. Do whatever you need with them. But once I retrieve the other half of file 049, you must return it to me immediately. And I don't want to know anything about its contents, now or ever.
Understood. Thank you, Meryl.
As for our conversation today, don't mention it to anyone ever again.
No problem. I spoke to Meryl just now. She says that we can hold on to our half of file 049 until she retrieves the other half.
What? Did you make some kind of classified high gross deal with her?
Sarcasm is more of Grey Fox's thing, don't you think? Besides, I'm just another errand boy for Hycros, not someone important. In any case, the files are ours for now. If we want to decipher them, we'll have to go find Grey Fox, right?
That's right. Luckily, she's been doing her hacker thing from the comfort of her house all this time. Which means she missed out on this entire fiasco.
You can't leave yet. We're still not done here.
What do you mean?
All of you are being hunted by the Public Security Bureau. And Officer Roslyn here has just provided evidence that implicates Wells, their chief of police.
Agent Meryl, please refrain from passing any judgment on Chief Wells before sufficient evidence has been gathered.
It's the court's job to pass judgment. My concern is my mission. But under these circumstances, I find it hard to trust Chief Wells.
Even as a Federation agent, you can't mobilize Asperia police without the chief's consent, can you?
Indeed, which is why I need your assistance.
Sure, why not? Anyone against Aurora Industries is a friend of Wednesday. I'll help too. Wells believes my obsession with capturing Ace made me disobey his orders too many times. So... you're going to go back to your precinct and use your connection to Wells to gather as much information as possible, right? Right. Some people are capable of forgetting their childhood promises, but not me. I intend to carry out justice the right way, so don't get in my way. I won't. But please just be careful. After all, you still have to arrest me when all this is over. Don't worry. I always keep my word.
You're almost ready to take down Aurora Industries, Anka. There's nothing more I can teach you.
Boss, you've been acting so weird today. Ever since we got here.
I happen to remember a few things from the past today. Maybe... Gray Fox?
Why does your voice keep cutting out, Gray Fox?
I got locked up by that rotten jerk. It's my fault for being so careless, but...
By rotten jerk, you don't think she was talking about... Oh no. Lucius must have gotten her!
Attacking my people, eh? Damn that Lucifer.
I'm sorry, Uncle Wells. I didn't ruin your operation today, did I?
Rosalind, are you okay? Did they hurt you?
No, sir. But I was so naive to fall for Wednesday's tricks. I was supposed to catch them today, but instead I got careless. And Ace overpowered me and nearly took me hostage. I've embarrassed both you and the whole precinct.
No more tears, Rosalind. A proud officer of the Public Security Bureau doesn't cry so easily. Just go home and take a few days to rest and get yourself together.
But I don't want to take time off. Those criminals are still on the loose. I can't just let them get away with it.
Just do as I say, Rosalind. Today was a complete mess, and I still have plenty of work to do. We'll discuss this another time.
That pretty little officer sure knows how to put on an act.
She's not as complicated as you may think. Despite her excellent performance, she's still a cadet inside.
Please, she's not your little girl anymore. And she's more complicated than you think.
Enough. Instead of pestering me with this, you should be looking into this Agent Merrill. Do I need to remind you just how dangerous someone linked to the Federation Nexus can be?
Oh my, not the great and terrible Federation Nexus. If you ask me, we should get rid of all of them once and for all.
Hey, what did I just say? She has nothing to do with them. If you so much as touch on her...
Or you'll what? After all these years, the only part of you that has grown is your age. You've slowed down both physically and mentally. Worst of all, you've gone soft. You had so much spirit back then, ready to kill anyone at the drop of a hat. But look at you now. Luckily, the younger ones are still eager and obedient. So unfortunately, I think our partnership has come to an end.
Don't tell me you're going to go look for Asureta now. He's not what you'd call a pushover, you know. Idiot. If anyone's grown more foolish over the years, it's you. Your brain's still as dull as ever, since all you can think about is killing. Then, maybe it's time for us to go our separate ways. But after all the times I've helped you out, don't you think you owe me something in return? Rosalind said she went out to catch those criminals, but I think she's starting to suspect me. I know she won't take time off like I asked, so why not? Asureta is a smart man. He'll know what to do with these witness testimonies and pieces of evidence, and he'll know exactly who to help.
What's up? Oh, don't worry about me. I can take care of myself.
Well, Authorizer, did you see Nemesis?
Yes.
So, the Nem mentioned by Nurse Shirley of Astra is actually Nemesis, and the two currently exist in a symbiotic state. She was the one who eliminated the alteration virus and freed the control tower from its grasp. Is she trying to save the Gestos network? If everything is as she says, then she was never the source of the alteration virus. So who was it that planted it in the Gestos network? Furthermore, based on the energy pulses from that black and purple Shirley, it appears she draws her power from the same source as the virus. I believe what you've told me, but I cannot wholeheartedly trust Shirley's one-sided account of the matter. As I previously stated, we still don't have enough information to make any reasonable conclusions, especially with regard to the nature of Nemesis. For all we know, this could be an elaborate plot by Nemesis to mislead us and cause Hykros to make an error in judgment. After all, she was lying in wait for a very long time before invading the Gestos network. That much has been ascertained. The meaning of words can differ from person to person. When Shirley of Astra mentions saving the Gestos network, does her definition of salvation match our own? In your eyes, is this so-called Sky Piercer, an entity that exists within Nemesis, truly worthy of your trust?
I trust her. After all, she did help me defeat the alteration virus in the foundational layer earlier. At the very least, our goals are aligned. We might even have a chance to bring her over to our side.
I have no way of knowing whether you are right or wrong. Only by continuing your investigation will we find the answer. Still, we have acquired a great deal of new information since we started, and I'm optimistic about the current situation. I believe the appearance of those aberrations on the surface layer, as well as their disappearance following the elimination of the alteration virus, is especially worthy of notice. I will analyze the functional logic behind the systems involved, which may shed some light on more of the alteration virus's characteristics. If we are able to construct an effective antivirus from this data, the problem may be solved sooner rather than later.
But in the real world, what were the aberrations like in its actual history? Plotty, the network world is a historically accurate copy of Ida, right?
That's right.
I discovered some disturbing information.
What would that be?
Well, it appears the Federation started a project codenamed Reshape Reality to deal with some disaster.
Reshape reality? I don't believe I've heard any mention of this project. From a literal standpoint, a phenomenon such as this can only be accomplished with Omnium. The prospect of reshaping reality. Could it be referring to the second attempt at time retracement?
Time retracement? Did I really stumble across something related to that?
The Omnium plague within the Shooter Ring lab. Was it always there? Or did it only begin to spread once the alteration virus appeared? At this point in time, the Omnium plague should have already appeared. However, due to the lack of historical information, the details surrounding the events of the cataclysm still remain a mystery. All we know is that the Federation, being incompetent and irresponsible, just watched as the Omnium plague spread. Then they tried to retrace time and take the world back to before the plague started. What happened next is known to everyone. An even greater cataclysm occurred, one which shattered our world and brought it to the brink of total destruction. Countless people lost their lives as a result.
The cataclysm? Is it about to happen in this world too?
Given how things are going, I'm afraid so. But there's no need for you to worry. You are an outsider in this virtual world, and I'll make sure you're safe, no matter what.
Thanks for your help. Plotty. What happened?
The program specifically designed to scan for data singularities was detected by the network's firewall and is temporarily unusable. Therefore, I can't provide you with the exact location of the data singularity this time.
Huh?
I told you before, data singularities in the surface layer are a type of error or loophole in the system. So in order to find singularities like this, the program essentially acts as an attack on the network. I've only used this program on the network twice, but its firewall has already identified it as a source of attacks and will counterattack whenever I activate it. For that reason, I don't have a way to locate data singularities right now.
So...
There are certainly other singularities within the network, but you'll need to find them yourself this time. You're quite familiar with the surface layer now, right? Have you noticed any distinctive features?
The coordinates for the last two data singularities happen to be where the omnium reactors were located in the surface layer. Maybe there's some sort of connection between the two.
I'm not talking about that. It's the similar data fluctuations that might indicate a weakening in the firewall's functions.
I'm not sure about that. The only real similarity between the last two operations is that we had to use omnium reactors that existed on the surface layer. If we locate the next reactor, we might also find a new data singularity there.
That's a bold assumption, Authorizer. If you're right, it might revolutionize our entire understanding of the surface layer. Here's an example. Research revealed that attacks on the foundational layer by viruses led to anomalies in Ada's surface layer. That's why, after you eradicated the viruses, the surface network's aberrations vanished.
If your theory holds, then a data singularity's surface coordinates should align with a foundational layer vulnerability, rather than being tied to a fixed object on the surface layer.
Exactly. If omnium reactors can pinpoint data singularities, it implies that the surface layer's operational logic also impacts the network's foundational layer. This could significantly influence our network's repair strategies.
Understood.
Get moving, Authorizer. If you actually succeed, we'll have a lot of work ahead of us.
Understood. But before I proceed, can you tell me if Hykros has any lab records on omnium experiments? Especially those related to reactors from before the Cataclysm? This would help me find them more easily once I enter the network.
Yes, I did find some. After you mentioned what happened on the surface layer, I stumbled upon a few records. I think you'll find them quite intriguing. Once you've gone through these materials, you'll be ready to dive into the network.
Hey, Plotty. I looked through those files you gave me. I have some questions about their authenticity.
These are all official reports from Asperia's media and the Federation. Even if the events aren't perfectly aligned with the facts, the conclusions are verified as true.
But if everything in these files is true, does that mean I've already altered the history that was meant to unfold within the network? If so, will everything still play out as it did in Ida's real history?
There's a flaw in your reasoning. It's precisely because the network's history is immutable that the events recorded in these files are destined to occur. I showed you these files to remind you not to waste any more energy on the surface layer than absolutely necessary. Or have you already forgotten about Shirley?
Of course not.
Everything seems fine today. Let's go out. I feel my horizons expand every time I visit a new place. Everything seems fine today. Let's go out. Everything seems fine today. Let's go out.